Dow rises more than 300 points as stocks rally after Powell signals Fed rate cuts ahead. Live updates. So let's take a look at this one, and you're going to understand why stocks market don't work. Because the M1 supply is way higher than this increasements in price. So it's all it's an illusion, but let's read this new and trying to understand what happened there. Stocks rose Friday after Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell indicated interest rate cuts were on the horizon. The Dow Jones Industrial Average climbed 350 points or 0.9%. The S&P 500 gained 1%. The Nasdaq Composite advanced 1.4% as technology stocks outperformed. Stocks took a leg up after Powell signaled decreases to interest rate ahead during his speech in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, but Powell did not provide specific information on when or by how big any cuts to the borrowing costs would be, right? So we have a decreasement in interest rate. So in his words, the time has come for policy to adjust, Powell said during the Fed's annual retreat. The direction of travel is clear, and the timing and pace of rate cuts will depend on incoming data, the evolving outlook, and the balance of risks. Alright, that pleased traders who are unanimous in betting on a trade cut at the September meeting, according to the S&P Group's FedWatch, but there's less consensus over how big that decrease will be. All right, technology stocks rallied with particular strength as investors grew hopeful that a lower rate environment would benefit this group. Tesla jumped more than 4%, while Nvidia and Advanced Micro Devices spot more than 3% and 2% respectively. Small cap stocks also gain on this outlook, with the Russell 2000 advancing more than 2%. Powell's comments have brought a lot of excitement for traders, even though many expect the Fed to say that the time has come to make adjustments, said Naeem Aslam, Chief Investment Officer at Zai Capital Markets. It shows how deprived the market has been due to high interest rates. All right, the three major average are heading for a winning week despite some pressure on Thursday from rising treasury yields. The S&P 500 and Nasdaq are now each up about 1.2% and 1.3% respectively on the week, while the Dow has added 0.9%. Right? So small caps outperformed. Small cap stocks rallied with outsized strength on Friday after Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell's speech bolstered hopes for a lower rate backdrop. The Russell 2000 jumped more than 2.5% as of shortly after 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. For comparison, the broad S&P 500 rose just over 1%. Zinc on pace for best week since April as China cuts production. Zinc prices are up more than 4% this week. The industrial metals best performance since April as smelters in China cut back on production. Zinc was trading at 2,884.65 per metric ton Friday morning, up $27 or 0.96%. Zinc is used in the galvanizing process to protect iron and steel from rusting. It is also used in the electric grid, helping to protect solar panels and wind turbines. Producers in China are cutting back due to low ore availability and weak profits. China is responsible for about half of refined zinc production worldwide. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell indicated on Friday that interest rate cuts could be coming. Notably, the Fed chief did not provide exact details on potential time or size for decreases. The time has come for policy to adjust, Powell said in his keynote address at Fed's annual retreat in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. The direction of travel is clear, and the timing and pace of rate cuts will depend on incoming data, the evolving outlook, and the balance of risks. All right, there we go. So we got all this news about the stocks and blah blah blah, but what really matters actually is that, you know what? Let me take a look at it. Let me read everything first because there are a lot of information, but I don't remember where exactly I am. Well, whatever. The reality is that China is going to collapse by a fertility rate crisis. They have ghost cities over there because there's no people, there's no there's no new people coming. They're not having babies. That's the reality for China. But for the US and for their stock market, the thing is the M1 supply has increased, as I said earlier. It was increased especially during COVID, 300 to 400%, okay? And this is way more than increasement in the stock market. So, and pay attention to something because the interest rate was decreased during the 2008 crisis. So, I don't know if this is good, but let's see what happens, right?